Hello everybody, I'm Sneha, welcome to my channel. This is an eyeshadow YouTube channel where I do all kinds of eye makeup reviews, swatches, looks, hauls, you name it, anything eye makeup related I do here. I do not do face makeup, but if you want to learn even more about the kinds of things I do on my channel and what I'm about, check out the video linked in the description box, which is the introduction to my channel, and just me like chatting about what I'm about here, and kind of what you can expect. Okay, so this video, as you can tell, I am wearing the same makeup, wearing the same outfit as my introduction video, and that's because I was gonna do that video. I was gonna do the introduction and talk about my staples and like some fun facts about me, and also talk about my Black Friday haul, all in the same video. And then I realized after I did like half of that video that it was like 30 minutes long already. So I decided I was going to do my Black Friday haul in a different video. And that's what this video is. So this is where I'm going to talk about all the stuff I bought for Black Friday. Not all of it is necessarily like new in the sense that it like just came out or something. Some of them are old ones that I've been I passed on and then sort of decided to buy now that they're on sale. So I'm going to talk about what I did buy during Black Friday and kind of what I was like thinking about buying, like it was in my cart and then I decided not to buy and kind of why I decided to pass. Okay, so the first things on my list I bought from Natasha Denona, who had a really good Black Friday sale. So I got the Love palette for $40 instead of $65, so I thought that was a really good deal. And I got the mini palette, the Xenon palette. So the Love palette I wanted to pick up during Valentine's Day along with everybody else, but then I don't know, like I just didn't feel like inspired enough by the color story to pay $65 for it at the time. Like I had already bought the like Metropolis palette, like I had the Zendo palette. I have so much Natasha Denona, so I was like, you know, like the Circle Loco palette had also just come out, I think, and so I'd like bought all these palettes, and this one just kind of seemed boring in comparison to like the Circle Loco palette, for example. So I just didn't pick it up. It was like I think also at the time I was kind of just like over the red, pink, like purple story. I don't know. I just was. And I was looking more at like grungy vibes, like more like super colorful vibes. So I just didn't pick this up. But since it was on sale for Black Friday, I was like, you know, I'm just gonna go ahead and do it. And I'm wearing it on my eyeballs right now. And I like Natasha Denona's formula. Like it's good. And I like how this look came out too. So yeah, I'm not mad that I got this. I'm happy that I got it on sale instead of for the full price. And yeah, and I can't wait to do more looks with this for you guys once I get my better camera. So that's the other thing. These first two videos are being filmed on my iPad right now. But I have like a really good blogging camera that I'm going to have access to soon. So I'm waiting to film like actual eyeshadow looks until I get that camera, because like right now, as you can see, this camera is pretty bad and it just looks like, oh, like I just like smeared some like pink eyeshadow on my eyes, but actually like you can't really see like the different like placements of the colors, but there are like 4 different colors on my face right now. You just can't see it because this camera is pretty bad, but I thought, you know, for this video, like I'm just showing you palettes, so this should be fine. Okay, so that's the Love palette, and then and this is the Xenon palette, which I also picked up during Black Friday, and this, I don't remember, this might have been on sale. I actually think I got this for $40, and then I realized to get free shipping from Natasha Denona instead of having to pay like, I think it's like $20 for shipping. And so I was like, I think you have to have like a minimum of like $65 in your cart or something. So I was like, okay, what can I like add to this to get the free shipping? And I decided to grab this Xenon palette, and I'm really glad because this is like one of the more unique color stories that Natasha Denona has come out with in a long time, and this is just such a great companion palette. Like I would reach for this. Like anytime you have a palette and it's like, you want to buy it and then it's like mostly mid-toned or light-toned and you're like, oh, like I wish there was like a deep matte in here. Angelica Nyquist, who again, like if you watch my introduction video, you'll know like she's one of my biggest YouTube inspirations. She always says this in her palette reviews, but she'll be like, yeah, like I just wish there was like a tone that like I just wish it went like really deep. And like when that happens, like this is the palette that you want in your collection. So yeah, I'm really excited to try this. I don't have many cool tone palettes in my collection, but this is one of them. And I kind of hope to do some like looks that are just with this palette too, just to see like what I can do, like if I can be creative. So yeah, I'm very excited to use this. Okay, so next on my Black Friday haul is the Sydney Grace x Temptalia collection. And this collection I was not expecting to pick up at this time, but I did because I was like, I don't know, I just saw something in it. So as the palettes were advertised, I'm putting a picture up here. This is what they look like. And that was just not very inspiring. Honestly, they all looked the exact same to me. It just kind of was like disorganized. It wasn't very inspiring. It was kind of like, it just seems like they're like thrown together. But I looked at it and I was like, this is a chance, Sneha. Like, this is a chance for you to like depot things and like reorganize. And I love it. I love rearranging palettes. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna get it. And I got it and it was super on sale. So I got all 3 palettes for $70 total. And I think usually it's like all together they're like $100 total. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I got all 3 palettes in the deep color, but they also have like a light version. And I am really happy with the way I did this. So I reorganized them, depotted them. I'll have a different video like showing you what I did and like, you know, showing you the new palettes and doing looks with them. But just know I turned this into 3 like really sick palettes in my opinion. One of them is like more of a green story, one of them is more of a pink story, and one of them is more of like a blue, purple, like cool tone story. And yeah, I'm really excited to play with my newly created palette. Like something about depotting and rearranging like really makes it feel like it's like your babies and you're just like it's like, oh, like these are my palettes. Like, I don't know. So I'm excited to play with these more. And I will have a video on them and like my rearrangement of them and stuff. So if you're considering picking up this collection, like these are really high quality shadows and they're really at a good value and you can turn them into something like really inspiring. So I really like it. Okay, so these aren't even out of the box yet, but I picked up the like Nabla Cutie palettes during Black Friday as well. So, I will do like a series on these, I think. I'm kind of late to the party, like I said, on some of these. Like, obviously the Love palette, like super late to the party. And like I said, like I used Black Friday to pick up some of the stuff that I passed on in the past. So, like the Nabla Cutie palettes, I have had on my radar for so long. I just generally, like I have some small palettes, but I don't tend to go for small palettes very often. I tried, like, I usually, like, my ideal is kind of, like, 12, like, 9, 12, like, 15 pan palettes. Not too big, actually, but, like, some, like, medium-sized palettes. And, like, the Carnival Pro or whatever, like, those kind of palettes intimidate me, where they're, like, 50 shades. Ooh, sorry, I'm, like, struggling with this packaging. Oh, gosh, ooh, that was hard. Okay. So yeah, these are the Nabla palettes that I picked up. There are more than this. I decided on 3 of them that I particularly liked. So from the original collection, like there was like an original set of Cutie palettes, I got the Nabla Berries, or no, yeah, the Berry palette. So this is the Cutie palette. And I'm really excited about this. Like this story is really pretty, and like this like duochrome, like do you see this like tan to like silver blue, like that's super stunning to me. And yeah, I really like this. Like, if I'm like traveling and I'm like, oh, I want to have a palette that'll just go with everything, like always go with my skin tone, like this is what I'm bringing. So yeah, I'm excited. I think there's like different directions you can go with this. Like, you can go more peachy. This is like kind of cool toned in my opinion. I mean, it goes like warm tone to cool tone, which I think is an interesting vibe. But yeah, you can really go like blue, like kind of like this blue here, this like cool tone, like orangey color, like I don't know, like there are directions you can go with this. Pink, like this is like a hot pink, so you could go more that direction, like kind of make it smoky with this dark shade. So yeah, I'm excited to play with this. It's not like the most interesting palette in the whole world, but I've heard the quality of Nabla is just really good, and I'm ready. This is the Wild Berry palette. Sorry, they're all Cutie palettes. That was stupid. Yeah, this is the Wild Berry, which is like the berries one of the original. Okay. And then we have the Platinum palette, which I picked up. And yeah, so also I also picked up all three of these on sale. So the whole vibe of this is these are old, but I got them on sale. So the Nabla palettes, I think they're originally like $20+, and I got these each for like around $15. I think I got them on Beauty Bay. So the Platinum palette, I think, is the one that I'm most excited for. I love this. This is like when you were a kid and you had like metallic Sharpies and you were like so excited about it because like the gold Sharpie, like the silver Sharpie were just like the coolest things in the whole world. That's this. This is like the metallic Sharpie palette. So you have a silver, you have like a bronze kind of, I guess I kind of consider this bronze. Then you have a gold, and then you have like a blinding, like, well, okay, no, we're gonna start over. Okay, so you have like platinum, you have like silver, gold, like bronze kind of coppery shade, and then you have like two like mid-tone dark mattes. And I just think this is like such a glam palette. Like, if I actually do travel a lot, and I do go to like a lot of music festivals and like visit friends, and we go like clubbing a lot. So this is like my travel like clubbing palette. Like, this is like my travel rave palette. If I had to be like, oh, I'm going to a music festival, like what palette am I going to bring? Besides my multi-chrome palette. This is also like, this is like my neutral rave palette, if that makes sense. So yeah, I really like this, and I'm really excited to try this. And this is also a good companion palette. Like, if you're just like, I know I want a gold, like, I'm just gonna reach into this palette if the palette that I'm using doesn't have one. If I'm like, this has like every like shade of metallic you might need. So if you're just like, I need a metallic, not sure which like tone of metallic I want right now, just reach into this palette and you have all the tones of metallic that you need. Okay, and the last one is this. This is the Midnight palette. This is from the new set of Cutie palettes. So they had like this old set, and the last one of the old set, so there's the Wild Berry, the Platinum, and there's the Metropolis, or like Metropolitan. And the Metropolitan did not speak to me. So this is like a picture of the Metropolitan, good lord. Okay, so this did not speak to me. I don't know, like, this like peachy tone, I don't really know what I'm gonna do with that. So there are two dark mattes on here, but this like pink shade, like there's no transition shade in this. Like, this pink shade is kind of a weird transition. And then like there's a white shimmer and like two gold. So these like this gold shimmer and like this like rose gold shimmer are not very unique in my opinion. Like, I have two golds in these three palettes that I already showed you all. Three golds actually in these palettes that I showed you already. So that's not a very like unique color to me. Like, there's no like unique standout color in this. Like, in the blue one, it's like the blue. In the platinum one, it's like those like that like dark gray shimmer, like that like bright silver shimmer. Like in the berry one, it's like that like the berries are all just standout shades to me. Like, I think berries are just so hard to formulate and just so well done. But in this palette, it's like the burgundy and the brown are not super unique. Like, you can find like a good like burgundy and like a good brown in like most palettes. So I just felt like this did not come together for me. Like, I don't know. I passed on that. Okay. So the one from the new set. So there's a new set. There's like the Cutie Part 2, which was sold out, so I didn't even have to think about it. And then there was another one that also came out. It was like the Corals, which was also sold out, I think. So I didn't really think about it, but I wouldn't have gotten it anyway. I don't know, like coral palettes are like whatever to me because I have coral tones in other palettes and I don't like love corals so much that I'm like, I'm gonna buy an entire palette of coral shades. I would totally buy an entire palette of berry shades, but not of coral. So, okay. This Midnight palette, though, this spoke to me. Oh, no! One of the shades is broken. No. Okay, well, I'm gonna have to call somebody about that. Okay, well, this palette really spoke to me. Like, this blue palette is just, oh, like, I'm a sucker for blues and greens and berries, like, just, like, these rich, like tones. And this, like, dark blue shimmer in the bottom right corner, that one just reminded me of, like, the Pat McGrath Subliminal, which I have, and, like, I love that shade. Like, it's so rich and, like, royal, and just, I love it. And then this, like, mid-tone, like, this, like, baby blue shade is kind of unique. Like, there's not very many, like, baby blue mattes. And then this, like, glittery, like, black-based duochrome is kind of, like, vampy. Like, I don't know. Like, this is, like, my vampire, like, shade of this palette. And then I love that there's a gold in here because the rest of it is pretty cool tone. So, like, I love that there's just, like, this warm-toned gold. Like, this gold with this dark blue, like, somehow. Like, that's cute. And then this, like, navy blue matte. So I really liked this. It spoke to me. It was on sale, so I was like, why not? I could always use another, like, cool blue palette, especially, like, a small blue palette. So, yeah, so I picked that up, and I'm very excited to try it out. And yeah, like I said, like, my passes were either out of stock or the Metropolitan palette, which I just thought it didn't go, like, I don't know. So the next palette I got on Black Friday sale was Viseart Violet Etendu. And I've been meaning to try Viseart for so long, but it just seemed so expensive for, like, such a small palette. And like I said, like, I gravitate towards, like, more mid-toned, or not mid-toned, like, mid-sized palettes. And this is just so, like, small and petite. And it was on sale, which is why I grabbed it. And I think it was less than, it's usually like $30 or more, I think. And this was like less than $30, which is why I picked it up. But I like it. I think purples are one of the hardest shades to formulate and to really, like, make stand out, which is why I picked this one. And I'm excited to try this. Like, I like that there's, like, this dark purple matte. I like that there's, like, a transition purple. I like that there's more of, like, a burgundy purple, like, matte down here. And then I like this pop of green. Like, green and purple is, like, a witchy, like, Joker look. And I can use that. And that's, like, a great inner corner shade. It's great. I don't like that there's just this, like, row of neutrals. I really think they could have done something better with that. Especially because they're so, like, similar. Like, they're all just, like, mid-toned neutrals. I'm like, what do you want me to do with this? So, yeah, I didn't like that. But I'm just trying to try Viseart's formula to see if it's, like, something I vibe with. And I don't know. I guess we'll find out if it's something I vibe with. I'm going to try to do a video on this as well. Of course, I'm going to try to do a video on all of these. But, yeah, this is an expensive brand that I thought I would try and see, like, what the hype is about. Okay. And Karen Harris, I think, did a video on that particular palette and said it was, like, really good. So I'm interested. Okay. So the next set of palettes I bought, I'm running out of palettes that are actually here now that I bought on Black Friday. And then after this, I'm going to have to talk about the ones that aren't here yet that I bought for Black Friday. So, okay, so I bought a couple of Made by Mitchell palettes. The one that's here is the Feet on the Ground. So I already have the Head in the Clouds palette, and I really, really liked that. Like, that was, like, just a great, like, colorful, inspiring color story that I just, every time I look at it, I'm like, I just think of new color combinations. The feet on the ground, I passed on the first time around. Ooh, and this packaging is gorgeous. But I passed on it the first time around because, I don't know, I just didn't feel like I needed it at the time. But I feel like now this is like the moment. Like, this grunge vibe is so in right now, actually. And the reason why I was inspired to get this during Black Friday is because I missed out on getting the Ace Beauté Tropical Vibes palette. And I was like, what can I do to, like, replicate this vibe? And I already have the Melt Smoke Sessions palette. And this palette kind of does replicate that vibe. Like, you have this grungy green, you have, like, these different tones of green, these yellows in here. And then, like, some other, like, kind of camo-y, greeny colors. And then you have, like, this blue shade, which kind of, like, this blue-green vibe in there. So, I don't know. Like, I feel like this kind of, like, captures the vibe of the Ace Beauté palette. Obviously, it's not as good. There's one shade that I wish was in here that is the one that I wanted from the Ace Beauté palette, but it's kind of like this, like, grungy, like, yellow green, and that's missing from here. But this could, like, replicate some, like, camo grunge green vibes, which I really feel like is the moment right now. So that's why I got this, and I passed on it earlier. So, okay, so that's that. And then I also got the Made by Mitchell Milk palette. That one was like an impulse, like, ooh, this is so new, I'm gonna buy it right now kind of purchase. And then looking back on it, I kind of wish I hadn't bought it, honestly. It's, like, not that great. In my opinion, it's, like, half neutral, and then some colors that I feel like are done better maybe in the Head in the Clouds palette. And that's not here yet, but we'll see when it gets here what I can do with it. Maybe it will inspire me when it gets here in person. I'm not sure. Okay, so another set of Black Friday purchases were Beauty Bay palettes. So this is the Wilderness palette, the one that's here right now. And I also got the Age of Opulence palette. Of course, again, all of these were on sale. The Made by Mitchell palettes especially were on sale. I think they were under $40, which usually they're, like, around $50. So these were, like, a good deal. Like, those I think those were, like, $35 on sale. The Beauty Bay palettes were also, like, really on sale. And everyone's been raving about Wilderness and about Age of Opulence. So I thought I would pick it up. And here's the Wilderness, which got here. Ooh, and it's beautiful. She is beautiful. Wow. Okay, well, now I'm seeing, like, this shade is kind of like, these shades in here are kind of like Ace Beauté Tropical Vibes. Like, yeah, I can see it. This is, like, happening. So, okay, I'm less sad about not getting that one. Because I also got the Kaleidos Flower Punk palette, which I'll talk about later. But, so I think all in all, like, the feet on the ground, the Wilderness, and the Flower Punk can, like, replicate Ace Beauté Tropical Vibes. So I'm not too sad about it anymore. But I'm really excited about this palette. Like, I think there was a video I was watching. It might be Annette's Makeup Corner, or I don't know. Maybe it was someone else talking about it. But someone was saying in their YouTube video that, like, when you look at this palette, you see, like, the Wilderness. And I think that's so true. Like, there's, like, the water up here. There's, like, campfire vibes at the bottom, and, like, it's, like, lush green foresty vibes in the middle. Like, yeah, like, another YouTuber was saying that, and I totally agree, and I love it. I think it's great. It's such a, like, I don't know how to describe it. Like, I could reach for this for, like, any occasion, I feel like, and it would be appropriate. So I really am excited about this, and I think there are really, like, unique looks that can come out of this. Yeah, I'm excited to see more people play with it. The other one that I got was the Age of Opulence palette, which I have a picture of. The rest of these are just going to be pictures because none of the rest of them are here yet. So this was the Beauty Bay Age of Opulence palette. The reason I picked this up is because I missed out on the Book of Magic palette, which was, like, the thing. That was, like, the shit. And I missed out on it. And I'm still salty because I slightly like the Book of Magic a little better than Age of Opulence, but I'm still glad that I got this one because I like having all the deep shades. Like, since I'm an eyeshadow collector, it doesn't bother me that it's like so deep. Like I would rather have like super deep shades than like a bunch of light shades. So I'm happy. I'm really happy that I got this, and I'm really happy that Beauty Babe did this, because like people were like crying over missing out on this color story, and I think this is beautiful. So yeah, so I'm very happy about that. Okay, another thing that I got on Black Friday was the Give Me Glow Vivid Rose, Vintage Rose, and Witching Hour palettes, which I have pictures of here. The Vivid Rose and the Vintage Rose were like the moment for a while, and people were raving about it, and I passed on them at the time, just because like I don't even remember why. I think I just had bought too much eyeshadow, and I was like, I can't buy anymore. But this time around I was like, this is like Christmas season, like especially like Vintage Rose, like it's such a like grungy, like angsty Christmas palette, and I love it. Like this is like Christmas in a palette, and I cannot wait to wear this during the holiday season. Cannot wait to like wear this during like, I don't know, just I can't wait to wear this and get this on my eyes, because like these shades of like red and green are just so perfect, and I can't wait. And I love that there's like a little pop of hot pink in there too. Sorry, if I'm looking down, I'm looking at the palette on my phone because I can't see it in this video right now. But yeah, I'm so happy I picked this up. And I think I tried to buy it at a different point and it was out of stock. And so I'm just like really happy it's in stock. I got it. It's on its way. Hallelujah. The Vivid Rose, I think, is supposed to be the same quality. And I mean, I'm not as excited about the Vivid Rose, but I mean, it's always good to have like a little, like a pinky purpley palette in your collection. This reminds me a lot of the Natasha Denona Love palette, which I picked up also. So maybe it was overkill, honestly, but I'm excited because Give Me Glow quality is like lauded from the rooftops. And as a tan girl, like you can never just get enough like high quality palettes. And so I'm excited to have this. I might dupe this with the Natasha Denona Love palette at some point and the Nabla Berry palette. Like I might just gather all these like pink purple palettes in one video and just like look at them and see if I just bought the same palette 7 times, which I probably did. The Bad Witch Club palette. This palette is everything. Everything. Like this periwinkle color is the moment. Like, oh, like there are so many shades in here that make me want to be like, to just like dance. Like periwinkle with the green, but like I don't know how to describe this shade, but it's like the top, it's the 4th shade, like on the top row. Like it's like a soft like green. I don't know how to describe it, but yeah. And then these like dark royal purples. Like it's not like weenie purples like in the Viseart palette. Like these are like deep, like witchy purples. And I'm just so excited because this palette is amazing. And I will also say, I mean, these palettes aren't similar enough to say this maybe, but one of my passes for Black Friday was the Battybean X Shroud Cosmetics, what is that palette called? The It's Freakin' Bats palette. So this palette I passed on actually because I got the Bad Witch Club palette, and you can see why. Like, so these like green, like this like lime green vibe is not in that palette, but the purples like in the It's Freakin' Bats palette are not as like, they're just like these light like mid-tone purples, and I was like, you know what, like these aren't that, like those like royal deep purples in the Bad Witch Club palette, like that's the vibe, like that I don't have that. And then this lime green vibe I sort of missed out on. This is like the Ace Beauté like tropical vibes kind of thing, but I think I'm gonna get that from the Kaleidos Flower Punk palette. So I'm not too sad about that. And then this periwinkle color is in the other palette. This like greeny, like kind of like weird, like witchy green vibe is in that palette. So there's just a lot that I felt like I don't need the It's Freakin' Bats palette if I have this bad Witch Club palette. So I don't know, I think that just like satisfied the craving for like that like spooky Halloween-y palette for me. I mean, they're very different palettes, like obviously I'm not saying they're dupes, but like it satisfied like that part of my soul. So yeah, so I passed on the Battybean palette because of that. Sorry, I'm gonna go fast now because this is like taking forever. So okay, I have a couple more to talk about. I also picked up the itsBel Dawn of Fall, Flare, and Break the Rules palettes. I love multi-chromes. I'm a sucker for them. I have the Plain Jane, I have the Ninhydrin, I have the Alien Cosmetics, like the big, like, all multi-chrome palette, which I forget its name. Yeah, it's like, I have a lot of multi-chromes. I have tons of Terra Moon singles, like, tons, like, all their multi-chromes. Like, I love multi-chromes. So, yeah, so I wanted to try itsBel. I passed on Break the Rules when everyone was obsessed with it. And during Black Friday, I was like, there's a sale, you know, why not? We can never have enough multi-chromes in this town. So I picked that up. And then I also, in the same vein, got the Kodanne palette from Adept, which I passed on as soon as it came out, but, I mean, it hasn't come out, it came out pretty recently, but I passed on it, and then I got it for Black Friday, because I saw, like, someone live swatch it again at some point, and then I just was like, why did I think I didn't need this? I do need this. And then now thinking back on it, I'm like, did I need this? But whatever, you know, the live swatches really, the live swatches really convinced me, so yeah, I picked that up. And then the last thing I'm going to talk about is the Oden's Eye Legendary Diversa collection. And that is also not here yet, but here are the pictures. I only picked up the Hummingbird and the Red Dragon palette. I did not pick up the, what is the last one? The Wolf palette, the Annette's Makeup Corner palette, because that was sold out. But if it wasn't, I may have also picked that up too. I also maybe wanted Cat's Breath, but that was also sold out, and it ended up being a good thing because I have Electric Turquoise by Kaleidos, and that's like similar vibes, so kind of glad about that. Okay, but I'm gonna get this Hummingbird palette, which I'm very excited about. Angelica Nyquist just did this like stunning like dark blue eye with this, and I was like, I must have it. So I'm gonna get that, and I love the like bright color vibes. And then I'm also gonna get the Red Dragon palette, which is the more like neutral red palette, kind of like red, like light green vibes. And I'm excited about that too, because I'm glad, like if the Wolf palette had been in stock, I probably just would have gotten the Wolf palette and the Hummingbird palette, but because it wasn't in stock, I got this like great like neutrally palette, and I think it's really easy to just like always pass on the neutral palettes and always just go for like the super flashy ones. But I'm glad this like forced me to pick up the more neutral palette. And I don't have very many red palettes now that I think about it. Like not like red themed palettes. Like I only have the one from the Sweet Shop collection, the BH Cosmetics Sweet Shop, which is like the red one, cherry on top, I think it's called. I only have that one that's like red. So I'm excited. I think this is like new for me. I don't pick up a lot of neutral palettes, but we'll see. Maybe this will like inspire a new side of me. So yeah, okay, that's it. There are a couple things that I passed on that I just wanted to like give a shout out to. I did have the Glaminatrix Silent Night palette in my cart and then decided not to get it because the shipping was just so expensive, and I was like, there's no point to a Black Friday sale if like, I don't actually, maybe they didn't even have a Black Friday sale. I can't remember, but it was just exorbitantly expensive for one palette, and I was like, I don't know. I can't deal with this right now. And then the other big collection that I passed on was the Glamlite, like, drinks collection. They had, like, wine, dirty martini, all this other stuff, which is, like, the pictures are here. I passed on that because I think the monochromatic palette thing is overdone at this point. I'm sort of over it. Like, BH Cosmetics did, like, 4 collections in a row that were literally like monochromatic palettes, and then like Glamlite comes out with these like monochromatic, and I'm just like over this like monochromatic life at this point right now. That's just where I'm at. So I think I just couldn't. Like, I was like, okay, how many times am I gonna buy this, like, like, the Poison Ivy palette just came out. Like, this Dirty Martini palette just came out. And I love Glamlite. I think their quality is really good. I have their cake palette, their ice cream palette. But I just, like, this monochromatic trend is just overplayed. Like, this, like, monochromatic purple, monochromatic green, like, I don't know. I just feel like BH Cosmetics has this, like, times 100, like, Glamlite didn't also need to do it, and then they're also too big for what they are. Like, BH Cosmetics has, like, these monochromatic palettes that are pretty, like, pared down, like, 8 shade maybe, like, something like that, but these Glamlite palettes are, like, 15 pan or something like that. Like, they're big, like, it seems like there's a lot of unnecessary shades in there, so I just passed on that whole situation, because I was like, I don't know. And the last thing that I passed on, and then I will let you all go because this is the longest video ever, was the Nomad Fire and Ice palette. And Karen Harris loves this palette, and I'm sure it's a great palette. Everyone loves it. But actually, when Karen Harris did her swatches on her video, this is like an example of tan girl solidarity, because she did a live swatch, and like there are a lot of swatch videos on YouTube that are very misleading. Like, they will do it under perfect light, like swatch it 3 or 4 times over. But no, Karen Harris just did this, like, very accurate, like, not misleading swatch of the Fire and Ice palette, and it just looked really washed out to me. Like, it looked really light and, like, washed out. And seeing that made me be like, I don't want this. And Karen Harris loved it when she tried it on her eyes, but I just looked at those swatches and it didn't speak to me. I was like, I don't think I need this. And I'm glad I passed on it, because like, it seems like very like washed out colors to me. So yeah. Okay, so that is everything. That is like the breakdown of my Black Friday. I love talking to you guys, as always. I'm glad you stuck around to hear about how much money I spent on Black Friday, which is clearly a lot, as you can tell. But yeah, I'm very excited about all my new purchases, and you guys will be seeing looks and reviews and all kinds of fun things very shortly. So, all right, goodbye.